the land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe. This, the song of sons and daughters. Hide the heart of who we are. Making peace to build a future. Strong, united, working till we fall. The air and water flowing hard. The land we call our home. Push to keep the dark from coming. Feel the weight of what we owe. This, the song of sons and daughters. Hide the heart of who we are. Making peace to build a future. Strong, united, working till we fall. And we all lift. And we're all adrift together. Together. Through the cold mist. Till we're lifeless together.
Alright, good enough. Sorry, I can never truly interrupt that song because it's such a banger. Hello, everyone. So, I did not have a set plan for tonight other than showing WarioWare and this game, Kuru Kuru Kururin. The idea is I'm just going to mostly showcase games that I will not be streaming because I just want to show off the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance apps because, you know, they just came out. And some of these I actually will stream at some point. For example, I will stream Minish Cap and I will stream Super Mario Bros. 3. I am debating streaming Superstar Saga, but I'm not going to make time to stream Kuru Kuru Kururin or WarioWare. Because, well, I don't even think I can play 3 hours of WarioWare. And same goes for Kuru Kuru Kururin. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably wondering what the fuck Kururin is, and I'll get to that in a bit. We're going to start off with WarioWare. Some of you may be familiar with it. What you may not know, though, is this game was made without Nintendo knowing. The developers working on it just slapped it together and then showed Nintendo instead of greenlighting it first. There are only 2 Wario spin-off franchises, Wario Land and this. You hate Wario? Yeah, I mean, Wario is a gross character, but the weird thing is, despite how gross he is and how obnoxious he can be as a person in the universe, I actually find him to be a charming character. Because he's very expressive. Which is one reason why I really want to play the Wario Land games. So, the way WarioWare works, if you haven't played it before, is this game is full of microgames. So, for example, let's start with the introduction. WarioWare has a few amount of games plus a boss stage. And then each character is themed. The introduction is just random stuff. Jimmy T is sports, 9V is Nintendo games, and Orbulon's games take longer to play than the others because they're 6 minutes instead of... They're 12 minutes instead of 6, basically. And then Wario, the boss, his microgames cover basically everything and are much harder. So to start off, the best part of any WarioWare game, in my opinion, is always 9V section. Because 9V covers Nintendo games. And I just like the idea of playing a bunch of Nintendo games, or games in general, in short bursts like this. And Nintendo actually saw the potential in that with the NES Remix series. Which sadly never came to Switch. If it came to Switch, I would fucking play it. I would probably even stream it. But a few other games have tried to do the same thing as this. Usually because there would be licensing issues. But it's also really great if you happen to be into retro games or Nintendo's history. Like I am. And every WarioWare game, 9V stuff starts referencing newer games. By the time WarioWare Get It Together came out on Switch, rather than referencing only retro games, there's actual Switch games being referenced in 9V section. including, of all things, Fire Emblem Three Houses. But at this point, it was specific stuff. So, I may be calling out what the games are. That was a Super Scope game for the SNES, the one of the light guns for it. This is, of course, the arcade classic Donkey Kong, though I think that's actually the NES version. This is Dr. Mario. And as you do the micro games, they start speeding up, making them get harder. That's the old family computer, which actually had a keyboard in Japan. That never came out in the US. This is F-Zero. That's Balloon Fight. Yeah, it starts speeding up. And it's the Fly Swatter minigame from Mario Paint. That is one of Nintendo's toys. One that never released outside of Japan. And this is another one, the Ultra Hand. And that is an early Nintendo arcade game called Sheriff that has never truly been ported before. That's another one of Nintendo's toys. We'll actually get to Sheriff in a little bit, because they included a remake of it in this, featuring Wario. There's Metroid. The only Virtual Boy game you'll see in this, and that's Mario Clash. Oh god. That's Urban Champion, which in my opinion is the worst Nintendo game. And then this is yet another Nintendo toy. A lot of Nintendo's toys, the ones actually made by the company, were done by Gunpei Yokoi, who also created the Game Boy and the Game & Watch. Oops. Urban Champion is so based. Yeah, don't say that until you've played it, because it is absolute dog shit. You've played it? I'm so sorry. It's really bad. Nintendo had a lot of oddball games from the NES era, and Urban Champion is probably the worst one. I'm not too fond of Clu Clu Land or Ice Climber either. A lot of repeated micro games here. You're at a friend's house or something, you don't think you're even 10 yet. Wow, a lot of repeated micro games. There's still some we haven't seen yet. Fine, well, you have like 20 games. Why are you showing me the same ones? There we go. Whoops. That was Helmet, the Game & Watch game. That is Color's TV game. I don't know which one, but Color TV game was a series of plug-and-play consoles, kind of like Pong clones, that Nintendo made in Japan. Like a fair amount of these never released here. Also, that game with the cutouts that you were shooting, that was Hogan's Alley, if I'm not mistaken. Shot the wrong target. Yeah, unfortunately the cop is the good guy there. Speaking of bad NES games, Certified Not Based. Yep. Well, you know how it is. ACAB. Mario spotted. Yeah, I hope the other GBA WarioWare game comes to the Switch. That would be WarioWare Twisted. I don't think it would be easy to play unless you're playing in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons, though, because it actually wants you to rotate the console. Not just the controller, the console. Because it had a gyroscope on it, and it's WarioWare Twisted, so you're actually turning... the console to move to play the games. It's actually really cool, and some of the games are really creative, and I think a lot of people don't talk about it because it's very difficult to emulate. I should play for the Cubs. I'm gonna be honest, I've never actually watched the Cubs. I'm from Chicago, and I have never seen or been to a Cubs game, and I have a friend who's really into sports. She's like a nerd, but she's also really into sports, and she got really offended that I had never been to a Cubs game. You don't like baseball? Shit! Yeah, I don't hate baseball, but it's like the one sport I understand. Watcher the Stray Fox, welcome to the stream. I have really bad eyesight, so I have to pause in order to read names sometimes. Sometimes you get a really good layout with that, and you don't even need to move much. Fuck. Okay. This is going by quicker than I had hoped. Seika sent me here. I was just watching him. And hey, Zeno. Damn, I didn't even break 50. Okay, so that ended it a little quicker than I wanted it to. So, there's one particular micro game in this.
You're great.
Thank you for the follow, Watcher. There's one particular micro game in this that has outlasted the series itself in a sense, because it's in almost every entry, and it's this one. I'm not going to do this for very long, but this singular micro game is quite possibly the most well-known WarioWare micro game, because it's in literally almost every entry in some form. Yeah, so. By the way, it's called Gold Digger. Speaking of, we're gonna do Mona. Oh yeah, this is base because you get to run from the cops and hit them with bananas. Kanye. Oh, the song. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, Kanye West secretly got his idea from WarioWare. I don't know when the song came out. The game came out in like 2003. So. And again, this game was made without the higher-ups of Nintendo even knowing about it. They didn't greenlight it until after it had already basically been finished. Which is one of my favorite, like, video game tidbits, because this one entry was made by, I think, Intelligent Systems, and then the sequels were made by a different team. But Intelligent Systems just was working on this and didn't say anything to anyone. Until they were ready to show it. So, if you're wondering when I mentioned the categories, Mona's games are listed as strange. She also has one of my least favorite boss stages. Because it becomes very difficult once it starts speeding up. Hello, Jarrett. Stop hammer time. Yeah, you gotta hammer them nails. I haven't had spaghetti in a hot minute. Oh, the nail landed in the person's eye. And then you hit it with a hammer. Well. Probably hurt. So, fun fact, this is actually one of 2 WarioWare games I don't actually own a physical copy of. Whoops. I have never owned a physical copy of this, but I've played a few different versions of it, and I don't actually own the Wii 1 Smooth Moves. I do not count Game & Wario on Wii U, because it's not a true WarioWare game. Would I do it, Spike? No? Well. That one is eggs. Well, that's one way to put it. I know someone who's played Game & Wario. I specifically didn't get it because it was like not a WarioWare game, really. So like, what's the point? I just know it had a lot of different like themed games or something, but it didn't actually have most of the micro games. And I mean, I play WarioWare for the micro games. That's the whole reason people like the series, and they took out the main like point of playing it. I've heard the Wii 1 Smooth Moves is really good. I just never got it. My personal favorite is WarioWare Touched. That's the DS one. That's the first DS one, because I always forget about DIY. Touched is also the one that introduced Ashley, who's my favorite character. She's like everyone's favorite character. The one problem with Touched is there's a fair amount of... I think I felt a burp coming. Whoops. There's a fair amount of micro games that use the mic, which is always the worst part about... Oh. There's Mana. Using the mic is always the worst part about any DS game. You can't discreetly use the mic. Imagine trying to play a game in public, like say you're on the bus and a cute girl or a cute boy is looking at you, and they smile at you, and then you just blow into your fucking 3DS or DS. Like a goddamn idiot. Alright, so I am failing at these a lot faster than I anticipated, so I might actually have to switch games soon. While maintaining eye contact. Oh yeah, you always have to maintain eye contact to assert dominance.
Hello?
So I'm just gonna show Wario's games. These are actually genuinely hard, by the way, because they start off fairly fast. Or at least I thought they did. What is it? What's the saying? Work hard, be hard? Something like that. Whoops. Really? Live hard, die hard. I thought it was live free, die hard. You're not talking about the movie, okay. I didn't know if it was the saying, I just know it's the movie. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the boss. Oh yeah, some of these micro games are actually for other Nintendo games with Wario as the protagonist. Ah, I'm not even gonna make it to the boss. Wow. Not doing too well on that today. Okay, well that's all of WarioWare that I was gonna show, I guess. There is one more thing. I mentioned Sheriff. This is actually one of Nintendo's earliest arcade games, and this is the only way to play it outside of tracking down an original machine or emulating it. It's, not exactly the most exciting thing on the planet. Weirdly enough, it's actually kind of a Space Invaders clone. So if you like Space Invaders, it's cool. I mean, to be quite honest, I can see why they haven't really hoarded it at all. But it's an interesting piece of Nintendo's history. Yeah, I'm not gonna be there for that long. It's not really the most exciting thing to watch or play. Alright, well I could stick here a little bit longer and let's do Jimmy. Jimmy's whole thing is sports. And I know Jimmy has some of the more liked songs in the series. Because in WarioWare Gold, which I believe is the 3DS one, Jimmy's got a song called Body Rock, which I've seen a lot of mashups for. I hate that micro game. Hooray, sports, do the thing, win the points. Body Rock is in the house tonight. Hey, hon. So, the funny thing about WarioWare, or this is WarioWare Mega Micro Games. There is actually a GameCube version of this without all of the extra minigames, called WarioWare Mega Party Games. Also, this is a Punch-Out reference. This isn't supposed to be Punch-Out, but it's Punch-Out. The GameCube version is more of a party game because there's a lot of multiplayer modes. Am I sure? It literally plays like Punch-Out, it looks like Punch-Out, it feels like Punch-Out, but it's not supposed to be Punch-Out, it's supposed to be boxing, which is what Punch-Out is. I hate that micro game. Didn't Activision make a boxing game on Atari? Because I think I own it. Oh, yeah. Hey, come on. Fun fact, Activision is the whole reason third-party developers exist. Because the original founders of Activision were former members of Atari who were fed up with the way Atari was running the company. And they took their knowledge of making Atari games to reverse engineer the cartridges and make their own. And then they started releasing games for the Atari 2600. And Atari didn't like that, because in Atari's mind, only Atari should be able to make games for the 2600, because they made the console. So they sued Activision, and Activision won, paving the way for third-party developers. Though at the time, anyone who was making cartridges for the Atari wasn't really being sanctioned by Atari, they were just making it for the Atari, so anyone could make it. They were fed up with this world. Yes, everyone betrayed them. When Nintendo came along in the scene, you had to get a license to make games for the console. And Nintendo actually had draconian rules about it. That you can only make a certain number of games. If you were making games for the NES, you couldn't make it for other consoles. Which is why in the US, a lot of multi-plat games that were also on NES only had their NES versions released here, because they were only allowed to release the NES versions here. And that's why I hate that microgame. And some companies like Capcom would start or purchase subsidiaries so they could release extra games. That way they wouldn't be limited to just a few per year. Oh, admitted it. Okay. God damn it. The funny thing is, though, Nintendo's licensing rules didn't actually stop people from making unlicensed games for the NES, which is why there's a plethora of homebrew games. And, oh, not homebrew. There were a plethora of bootleg games. That's the reason why stuff like Seven Granddad exists, which is what the Flintstones meme comes from. There's also infamous bootlegs like Somari and Kart Fighter. Probably the most... Oh, excuse me. Probably the most infamous unlicensed game, though, is Action 52. Because it was an NES game that cost $200, because the idea was it's like $5 per game, and it was 52. But the other thing was... some of the games just straight up would not play. There's two that crash if you try to play them. Most of the games, in fact, all of the games, are either insanely buggy or just plain not good, or both. Some people kinda liked Cheetah-Men, even though it's also not very good. And they pulled a Drake of the 99 Dragons, where they were planning all sorts of stuff with the Cheetah-Men. They were going to do comics, cartoons, t-shirts, they had a merch line and everything planned. Then the game came out, and it got rancid reviews because everyone hated it. It was too expensive, so nobody was buying it, and people discovered the cartridges were so poorly manufactured, if you played the game for too long, the cartridge would melt. Yo, where the cheetah women at? I'll ask some furries.
Hey, DJ. Oh, yeah.
Did it have microtransactions and loot boxes? If it came out today, it probably would have. It would have been free to play with only Cheetah-Men being the free game, and everything else would have been paid.
Go. Hey. Oh, yeah. Come on, DJ.
Also, the funny thing about the game to me... Oops. Is two of the games literally do not work, because if you try to launch them, the cartridge crashes. And because of that, on the wiki, the cutting room floor, the entirety of those two games are considered unused, because you can't actually play the games. Because they just straight up crash when you load them. Oh, that's a new record. Alright. So, that's essentially it for WarioWare for now. So, this game, Kururin. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't think I ever saw this on Game Boy Advance before, you're probably American, because this didn't come out here. It came out in Europe and Japan, which is why it retains the Japanese name. I don't know how to describe this game, because I don't have anything to compare it to. I don't even know what genre it is. It's a video game. It's fun. First-person shooter, not quite. You have to avoid things. Oh, wow, I didn't actually expect to be able to say that correctly. They have some customization stuff, which is, I guess, kind of cool. You're trying to save your siblings. Let me just back up a little bit. Show... Oh, the training level's that I never did. Show the first level so you get an idea of what exactly you're doing here. You have to... Come on. Well, oh, I press A. Alright. So what you have to do is avoid the walls. You avoid the walls. That's it, that's the game. Figure out how you use the springs. Thank you. If you hold A or B button, you go fast. However, if you hold both, you will go even faster. Oh god. I'm going back to WarioWare. I need to fill out time somehow. I don't have a lot of games to show. I suppose I could show the rest of the game.
What you doing?
I still have 2 hours and 20 minutes. I gotta fill out time somehow. So I'll just show the rest of WarioWare and then move on. This is Dribble and Spitz. Yes, that's their names. The dog is Dribble, the cat is Spitz. Their theme is sci-fi, but for some reason they have some of Wario's games. I could play another game. I could also show the rest of WarioWare, or at least show this to fill out a little bit of time. Because, like I said, I don't have a lot of games I'm actually going to show. So I have to fill out time somehow. Because I'm specifically showing the ones that I'm not necessarily going to stream. Gotta remember to mute my damn phone.
Yeah.
Let me at least show this, and then we can find out, or find something else to play. Because I don't want to show Minish Cap, because I'm going to stream it at a later point. I suppose I could show a little bit of Mario Kart and just do 1 or 2 cups. We'll be playing it on Saturday, but I could show it a little bit, because I can't imagine many people have played the GBA one. Actually, no, a lot of people have not played the GBA one because it is the worst-selling Mario Kart, if you don't count the Wii version of 8. Which I don't, because of the Switch version. GBA Mario Kart is Mario Kart Super Circuit, and it has the honor of being the worst-selling Mario Kart, and also has the honor of being the only Mario Kart developed by an outside studio, in this case, Intelligent Systems. What if Mario was in Fortnite? Supposedly, Epic contacted Nintendo to try to get Samus in Fortnite. And Nintendo's response was to essentially laugh in their faces and then ghost them. Oops. This is an obligatory fuck Fortnite, by the way. Fuck Epic. What they did to the Unreal franchise is unforgivable. Unreal Tournament 99 did not deserve that fate. Neither did 2004, neither did Unreal 1. Unreal 2 can go fuck itself. Also, in keeping with a trend, this is yet another Nintendo game that randomly has a shoot-'em-up segment. Despite the fact that Nintendo has never actually made a shoot-'em-up before. Yeah, I've never played Unreal 2. But I know it's bad from what you've told me. I've played Unreal 1, I've played Unreal Tournament 1, I've played a little bit of Unreal Tournament 2, and I've played maybe 2 rounds of Unreal Tournament 3. Hey, Simkit. Unreal 2 is incredibly dull. I really need to track down a physical copy of this game, but it's like 80 bucks, and I don't feel like spending 80 bucks right now. I've been meaning to get this for a very long time. Hello. Also, I kind of wish that Shoot 'em Up was actually a full game, because it's actually kind of fun. It reminds me of a Flash game I played. You know how you move fast in like every other Unreal game? You don't in 2. It's like trying to walk underwater and all the enemies are fast. That's the odd. That sounds terrible. Hey, Stream Elements is working. Unreal Tournament 4 died because of Fortnite. And there's no Unreal game to show off Unreal Tournament 5. Or Unreal Engine 5. So what's the point of even calling it Unreal Engine? Because the whole point of the Unreal Engine was to use an Unreal game to show it off. That's why it's called Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 1 had Unreal 1 and Unreal Tournament. Unreal Engine 2 was shown off with Unreal Tournament 2004, or 2003 technically. And Unreal Engine 3 was shown off with Unreal Tournament 3. And then Unreal Engine 4 was supposed to have an Unreal Tournament. And they announced that it would be in the community's hands for the most part. Then Fortnite became too successful, and they scrapped the plans and then scrapped the game. The only thing left is the original launcher for it, I think. And even that is being pulled. And it really sucks because Unreal Tournament 99 is one of my all-time favorite games. I adore Unreal Tournament 1999. I didn't actually know what engine Unreal 2 was on. Because I've never played it.
Yeah.
2003 came out a few months before Unreal 2. How about a drink, bartender? I didn't know that's what happened when you crashed. Hold on. I don't care that I'm losing. God, I love this game. I really do hope we get Twisted. I still have my copy of WarioWare Twisted. I should play it again. You ever played Unreal Tournament 2003? I own a physical copy of 2003, because my dad got it years ago. Gone. But what I played was 2004 because I bought it on Steam. I saw no reason to play the physical copy because I never actually installed it from the box. Because Unreal Tournament 2004 was on Steam, so what was the point? And I played a very, very small amount of Unreal Tournament 3 and decided I didn't like it, but I probably will play it again when Unreal Tournament X comes out, because Unreal Tournament X is just 2003, or Unreal Tournament 3, for some reason. We had a computer from the high school where my dad worked, and someone installed 2K4 on the computers there. That's cool. I can't imagine the faculty approved of that. Nobody ever did anything about it? Okay then. Plus they had this whole event where they'd set up gaming consoles and board games and shit. Your high school sounds cooler than mine. Cause I went to a Catholic high school, and you can tell I went to Catholic high school because I'm a Satanist. But we had the computer club, which was basically oh, it's not yours, it's where your dad worked, that's right. We had a computer club at my high school, which was basically just a front for, video games, really. I'm only a lesbian some of the times. You know, it depends on what gender I'm feeling that day. See, it doesn't matter really because it's always gay. That's the nice thing about being gender fluid, is it's always gay. And my gender is specifically whatever makes it gay, so I guess that would make it a lesbian. Or make me a lesbian. Yeah, just being gay 24/7. Be crimes, do gay. Granddad! Flintstones? Oh, Granddad. Granddad. What the fuck? Ghost Nut? What is Ghost Nut? Oh, I tried. Oh, 70, it's not bad. I've apparently done better. It's on Joel's Super Ghostbuster album. I don't think I read that one. Ever saw that one. Alright, so new games. Alright, I'll show off a couple cups of Super Circuit, I guess. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit because it's actually a little quiet. There you go. That should be fine. Oh, excuse me. So, the one interesting thing about Super Circuit is it uses the voice acting from Mario Kart 64's Japanese and European version, so Luigi and Wario are not voiced by Charles Martinet, and Peach is not voiced by Leslie Swan. There's a whole video from Did You Know Gaming about this. This is gonna look a little pixelated, and it just originally looked like this. But Mario Kart Super Circuit is kind of the black sheep of the Mario Kart franchise because of how weird it is compared to other entries. It's very obviously trying to mimic the original Mario Kart. because it was on GBA. What else was it supposed to do? But it has a lot of quirks to it. For starters, it has the entirety of Super Mario Kart's tracks as unlockables, which means it's the only Mario Kart game with 10 cups by default. Perked up, white boy. I knew someone was going to say that. Yeah, I really like Super Circuit, but it's weird compared to the other Mario Karts. You can actually outrun red shells and blue shells if you're fast enough. You can't fire triple red shells or triple green shells behind you at all. You have some weird kind of turning mechanic that I haven't quite figured out how to use correctly. There's no triple bananas. There's no golden mushroom. I don't even think there's a triple shroom. There might be, I could be misremembering. There are, just like the original Super Mario Kart, there are multiple Bowser Castle tracks. I think there's 4, not counting the Super Mario Kart ones themselves. And it's the only game besides the original to do that, where tracks are repeated like that. And even weirder, the Super Mario Kart tracks in the game don't have any of their original hazards. They have the gaps in the tracks and whatnot, but the thwomps and other enemies and oil spills are all gone. Some of them are still in the files, though. But like Rainbow Road, SNES Rainbow Road, doesn't have any hazards. At all. There's none. Even though it's supposed to have a shitload of thwomps. And the Mario Circuit tracks don't have any of the oil slicks. Dumb down for the filthy casuals. The thing that makes me so happy about this, though, is I grew up playing Super Circuit, because I had a Game Boy Advance growing up, and I have very fond memories of staying up late playing the Game Boy Advance. My grandma had a house in Michigan, and I would bring my Game Boy Advance up there, because it was nice for the long car ride and whatnot. And I distinctly remember playing games like Super Circuit, Pokemon Ruby, and Super Mario Advance with my Game Boy Advance SP at night. And it's like a minor thing to just remember, but I have fond memories of that. It was fun. Pokemon Rhubarb. But the thing about Super Circuit is Zeno, my brother, who I think is still in chat, he's one of my mods, also played a lot of Super Circuit when we were kids. But we never got to play it together because we only had the one copy. We never got a second one. It's supposed to have single-pack multiplayer, but we were never able to get it to work, and we didn't even know about it until a few years ago. So, this weekend, we'll be able to properly play it together with 2 other people for the first time. And it's actually, I think, the first time any of us will be doing multiplayer in it. And I really gotta thank Nintendo for letting this happen, because none of us have ever gotten to really play Game Boy Advance games multiplayer before. Not like this, not outside of Pokemon. Speaking of, I truly hope we get the GBA Pokemon games, or at least Ruby and Sapphire, because I so desperately want to replay Ruby, but I cannot bring myself to delete my save file. I can't do it. Yeah, this and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror are the 2 GBA games I have been wanting to do 4-player since I was a kid, and I was never able to. So I'm happy we finally will have this opportunity. And when Amazing Mirror comes to the NSO app, we're streaming it together. You guys don't have a choice, actually. We're streaming it together. Four Swords Adventure was the GameCube game, hon. Four Swords is the GBA one, and that was part of Link to the Past. But yeah, if we get the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past, we can finally do Four Swords, because I never got to do it multiplayer. Which means I never really got to play it. I don't know if we'll really see too many of those GBA ports, though, because the GBA got a lot of ports of SNES and Genesis games, and in some cases NES games. Some of which actually had extra features over the original. And some of them also added in voice acting. I don't know if we'll see them, because they didn't come to Wii U, as far as I know. But I hope we do. We already are seeing one of them, and that's Super Mario Advance 3, which is probably the more famous one, because they had a ton of e-reader levels for the GBA e-reader. Which, for those who don't know what that was a card reader for the Game Boy Advance. If you think amiibos are bad about being like physical DLC, the e-reader was the same idea. The cool idea behind it, though, is that you could buy the cards, scan them, and you could play games with them. There's a whole range of them that would be like Game & Watch games or NES games. The problem was, it wasn't particularly popular. And a lot of the cards that were made never actually got released, including for some of the games that supported them. Animal Crossing, for example, on GameCube, in Japan, got a version with e-reader support, where if you had the e-reader cards, you could play a bunch of extra games. Like little mini-games to get extra items, and I think you could even get villagers, which they brought back with the amiibo cards. Yeah, SimKey, I know, has the e-reader, and there's a Kirby game that is unique to the e-reader, and I think it's some pointless slide puzzle game, something like that. He told me it was the most pointless Kirby game on the planet. But for Super Mario Bros. Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, which is the full title, it's a fucking awkward mouthful, there were a ton of extra levels that, you know what? Fill out time here, I'm just gonna do the whole game, I guess. I won't even fill out all that much time. But there were a ton of extra levels for the e-reader and a couple extra power-ups you could get. And some of the cards only released in Japan, and some of them didn't release at all. When the game was added to Wii U Virtual Console, they actually included all of the e-reader levels, including the ones that only released in Japan and the ones that never released at all. So if you buy it on Wii U or get the expansion pack on Switch so you can play this, or this version, you'll actually get to experience levels that never released and you never would have been able to play back in the day, even if you lived in Japan. I don't know if we'll see any e-reader stuff like that in the app, because we haven't seen any Satellaview stuff for the SNES app, but you never know. The one problem with Nintendo is they are predictably unpredictable. They have a huge tendency to surprise people doing awesome stuff, and they also have a tendency to surprise people by making the most asinine business decisions on the planet. So I've always learned to temper my expectations with Nintendo, and to just expect the unexpected, because you never know what the fuck they're about to do. I mean, hey, we finally got Sin and Punishment in the Wii era. We got Star Fox 2. And we got Earthbound 1. Or Mother 1. And we actually got a translated version of Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, the NES version. So, like, they are capable of stuff like that. It's just that they only do it once in a blue moon. I believe this track recently came to Micro 8. Excuse me. Also, that is supposed to be Luigi's Mansion in the background. Doesn't really look like it, but it's supposed to be Luigi's Mansion. Also, we're in a tricky spot here. If I bump into someone, I'm actually going to spin out, because I have no coins. Never mind. Fun fact, mushrooms in this game are actually not as useful because there are actually very few spots where you can safely use a mushroom without careening off the edge or bumping into a wall. That's another one of the weird things about this game compared to the Mario Karts, is because of the way the tracks are set up, just like the original Super Mario Kart, there's a lot of turns. Some of which are right angles. I am genuinely shocked that shell didn't hit me. So I'm going to bring the chanting louder for Mother 3 on Switch. Stranger things have happened. We got Mother 1, we got Star Fox 2. We may finally get Mother 3. What I want us to get is, instead of Mother 3, as it originally was, I want a remake in Link's Awakening's art style. The remake. Yeah, like, I'm not hopeful in the sense that I don't actually think it's going to happen, but it could happen. This is Nintendo we're talking about. You never know what they're going to do. They might assassinate Elon Musk live on American television. You never know. They're just that unpredictable. They could plunge the world into World War III. They might even cure cancer. Am I allowed to say that? Well, you've said worse and you know it. You have any idea how twisted I am? I grew up watching Happy Tree Friends and Robot Chicken. I was molded by Newgrounds. I'm fucked up. I'm just normally, like, scaling it back. Oh, bitch, you're a bitch. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can just outrun the blue shell for a bit. If you can keep it up, you can actually finish a race with the blue shell still trailing you. Also, that was Cheeseland, which is one of the worst tracks in Mario Kart 8. I love how Nintendo got so creative porting the GBA tracks to Mario Kart 8. And then they tried porting over the SNES tracks. I'm gonna be honest, the only good SNES track is Rainbow Road. None of the others are really memorable. They're just either too generic or they're just different versions of the same track. It's a little unfair, I think, now that I think about it, because Broken Pier is pretty good. The Bowser Castle tracks in Super Mario Kart fucking suck, though. They're amazing in Mario Kart Super Circuit. So, chat, what's your favorite Mario Kart? My favorite? Honestly, I'm gonna be a basic bitch and just say Mario Kart 8. Well, I said chat, Fowl, not you specifically. I know you don't play Mario Kart. It's a shame you don't, because you know, that would be something else we could play together, but I know you're not really one for racing games. I know Mario Kart is one of the only racing games Xeno actually plays. Yes, you're allowed to answer. I'm just saying. I know you don't play Mario Kart. Yeah, I'm not too fond of Double Dash personally. I know it's a really popular Mario Kart, but I actually don't care for it all that much. And I seem to be alone in that opinion. If I couldn't pick Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as my favorite Mario Kart, it would probably be Mario Kart Wii, because that's one of the ones I spent the most time playing. DS is really good too, and so is Mario Kart 7. Super Circuit's underrated. You know which one you really want? Is it the arcade ones? Because for those who didn't know, there's actually like 2 or 3 arcade Mario Karts that were made by Namco. You can play as Pac-Man, and in one of them you can play as a Tamagotchi. Yeah, there's a Mario Kart Arcade GP and Mario Kart Arcade GP2, and I think there's a GPX. Or I guess it's just GP1 and 2. I've played one of them, and it's whichever one had the Tamagotchi in it, which I think was the second one. Honestly, Belle, if you are going to play Mario Kart, you really should just get it on Switch. It has extra content. It's got a better battle mode. It's got a much better battle mode, actually. It actually has a battle mode. And, with the booster course, it's adding a bunch of stuff. I know Sorrow's gonna be happy playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe whenever she gets it, because Birdo's coming back, finally. And they're supposedly bringing back other, returning characters, but nobody knows if that's gonna count to her. Would you have to pay for it? Well, yeah, you don't want to give Nintendo your money. Also, my, controller is behaving weirdly. So, that's interesting. I have noticed that if I plug my controller directly into my Switch, I get some really weird latency issues. Yeah, fuck Nintendo. What they've ever done for me aside from my entire childhood. Like, no joke, I have been a Nintendo kid basically all my life. They're like not the best game company out there. They're like far from it. They are not saints. But I feel like people are way too harsh on them. Fuck you, Yoshi. Fuck you, Yoshi. They have no graphic. They are no good. I like how me and Toad bumped into Wario while he was spinning out. By the way, if you get bumped while spinning out, you spin out for longer. Which is fucking frustrating. I'm sorry, you didn't say graphic, you said graphic. So I was just thinking about the most recent Nintendo Direct, because we've been talking about Nintendo, and I cannot wait for June 2nd, because that's when We Love Katamari Reroll is coming out. I have been wanting a remaster of We Love Katamari on Switch. I didn't think we would actually get it. I am, like, ecstatic. I will most likely be streaming that, at least a little bit when it comes out. But I'm also tempted to not stream it at all, so I can just play the fuck out of it. Well, Bao, if you don't know what you want to remaster for, I can decide for you. You know, that's always an option. You want a remaster of Ride to Hell Retribution? Oh, oh yeah, the Conduit works. I need to get the Conduit. I need to stream both Conduit games so that way everybody can witness the ending of the Conduit 2. Excuse Mickey. Mickey Mouse. You know, the funny thing, Hun, is that Miyamoto was actually setting up for his own retirement to train the younger team so they wouldn't need him, and yet he's still working there. Miyamoto was a visionary for his time, but his ideas have also really held back Nintendo in some ways. I mean, he gave us Zelda and Mario and Star Fox and Pikmin and Nintendogs and whatnot, but he's also supposedly the reason why Paper Mario went to shit. So that is what killed Mario and Luigi. I think you mean Paper Mario, because he was not. I don't think he was involved with Mario and Luigi. I don't know if he was as involved with Mario and Luigi. And Mario and Luigi didn't bomb because fans fell out of favor with the games. They bombed because they just weren't selling well. Because everyone loves Superstar Saga, everyone loves Partners in Time, everyone loves Bowser's War Fetish. I'm sorry, Bowser's Inside Story. Everyone loved Dream Team. Paper Jam. People liked the remake of Superstar Saga, and people did kind of like the remake of Bowser's Inside Story. Paper Jam is really the one that sticks out, but it wasn't even the last game in the series. It was the last new one, and it was a crossover with Paper Mario. And from what I know, it is extremely buggy. Much more buggy than most Nintendo games. He wasn't involved, but he did push his influence and wanted Mario and Luigi gone. In his words, he saw no reason for two different Mario RPG games. That is the first I've ever heard of that. We'll have to look into that after stream. The reason why Mario and Luigi died, though, is because Alpha Dream went bankrupt. It had nothing to do with Miyamoto, specifically. Alpha Dream went bankrupt, Nintendo did not buy them. That's why Mario and Luigi died. Because Alpha Dream only made 2 IPs. Tomato Adventure and Mario and Luigi. And Tomato Adventure was basically a precursor to Mario and Luigi. I don't think it actually released here. Nintendo should have bought them. That was a very strange decision on their part. The thing is, they now own the Mario and Luigi franchise entirely, which made for some funny headlines saying that with Alpha Dream gone, Nintendo owns Mario and Luigi. Which, if you don't know what Alpha Dream is or what the Mario and Luigi franchise is, sounds like that when they went out of business, Nintendo finally owned their own mascots. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo bought Next Level Games. Despite how much Next Level Games had worked with them, and they didn't buy them until shortly after Luigi's Mansion 3. And they bought Monolith Soft completely out of the blue, despite only ever working with them once. And it ended up being the best thing that happened to the company, actually. But they didn't buy Alpha Dream who had up to that point only exclusively made Nintendo games. By the way, I got a question that I want to ask you guys regarding future Retro Night streams. Would you guys be okay with indulging me at some point so I can do another Humongous Entertainment night? Because I kind of want to stream them just to show them off. But I'm hesitant to do it because they are baby games. Humongous Entertainment, you know, Pajama Sam, Freddy Fish. Spy Fox. Oh, you're joking. Okay, I see how it is. Yeah, I would do it for a retro night, and I would probably save it for a specific night. But I wouldn't mind streaming them again. That is true. Sometimes you need babby game instead of shoot game. Listen, they make me happy, okay? Sometimes you need something childish to make you happy. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel self-conscious doing it because I'm literally playing a game aimed at young children. That being said, Bluey is one of the most popular cartoons right now, and it's literally aimed at, like, preschoolers. Are you playing a babby game anyway? Only shoot game, no babby game. What if there was a game where you played as a baby that shoots? What then? Oh, you know shoot? You know, I actually haven't really streamed much in the way of FPSs. I should play Devil May Cry 2. Babe, isn't that like the worst one? One of the first streamers I ever watched did a Devil May Cry marathon, and when he was playing Devil May Cry 2, he was complaining the entire time. Bad game night? Well, I mean, from what I know, people suffer when they play Devil May Cry 2. It's just that bad. Time to bust out Unreal 2. Yeah, Val, about that. I never bought it before it was delisted. I don't actually own it. My only way of streaming it would be the Xbox version. It's okay, I can borrow your disc. I don't have a disc drive. I would need to get a portable disc drive. Okay, so, Twitch, links are supposed to be blocked. Why is... What? Oh. VIPs, okay. Interesting. Well, no, Bow, it's actually because you're a VIP. Yeah, also, everyone who's in chat, don't click that link. If someone accidentally creates a link, don't click it. It might not be a good idea. Yeah, it thinks it's a link, but just don't... I would not recommend clicking it. But I do have an OG Xbox. Well, babe, you don't click links like that. Even if you think nothing's going to happen, don't click it. Just don't. It's a bad idea. You don't think a .gif is a valid web domain? Well, I mean, it's not, but you never know. I have some delicious agua. Oh, hits the spot right after water. Or, coffee. Listen, I do not trust links. I don't trust links, I don't trust Zeldas, I don't trust Ganons. Horse is a valid web link, though. I'm sorry? Alright, let's see if I can pull off the skip here. Alright. There we go. Do I even want to know what horse leads to? Skyrim.horse is or was a website. What was on it? And it shows all the horses. Please do not bring up piracy on Twitch, Val. Even if you, okay, yeah, there you go, there you go. Yeah, even if it's a game like that, you can still get in trouble, and I can get in trouble if I don't moderate it, or at least call you out. So, don't get yourself in trouble, and don't get me in trouble. The important thing is don't get me in trouble. Just out of safety, if a mod could delete that message. Just out of safety. No, Bal, I'm trying to prevent myself from getting in trouble. If someone could delete that message from Bal. Zoro, Simki, Xeno, one of you. I didn't mean to time him out. Babe, you can just delete a message. Oh, I only wanted the one message deleted, hon. Babe, I only wanted the one message deleted. Okay. Well, messages are gone, I guess, so it's not quite what I wanted. And I wasn't looking. Al didn't just leave the stream, did he? Yeah, Rip Bal, he'll be missed. It's almost like he's still here. It feels like he never left. Yeah, that blue shell sound is menacing. Am I just gonna hit all these? Val, your commentary is always so thoughtful and entertaining. How could we not miss you? I almost hit it again. I'm just like homing in on them accidentally. What the fuck? Oh, by the way, Simki and Xeno, when we actually do Super Circuit on Saturday, we're probably going to end up swapping to Mario Kart 8 at a later point, so just keep in mind. I astral projected into your house the other night and saw you writing in your diary. I hope I don't even have a diary, you liar. That's how I know you're lying. Yeah, well, I mean, look how quickly I'm going through this. There's only 10 fucking there's only 10 cups in the game. Imagine only having 10 cups. Also, you can do most of these in like, this isn't even a minute and a half. Oh yeah, it wasn't the fucking astral projection part. That was a lie. Get out of my way, 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 get out of my way. Okay. But guys, did you hear Metroid Prime comes out physically on the 22nd? Isn't that awesome? Aren't you guys so happy that I already finished? If you figured out how to delete messages, congratulations, Simky. You done it. You done did it. You're a real boy now. Yeah, I actually have had it pre-ordered. I only bought it digitally so that I could stream it day one, because I wanted to do that. I didn't want to fucking wait. You don't pre-order? I only pre-order games that I really, really want. Sometimes I'll wait on pre-ordering a game until like the week it comes out, so that way I get it day one. You don't pre-order. Lying again. Todd Howard knows your lies. Your dirty little lies. Now, I'm just thinking, someone who followed me earlier, Watcher the Stray Fox, said they came from Seika Sky's stream. It would be really unfortunate or funny if Seika actually rated me, because I referred to him as, or I think it's a him, as a fellow Real Hardware streamer, and this is one of the few nights where I'm not actually on original hardware. Because I own this physically. I can actually play it on GameCube, but that's not the point of tonight. Well, no, it's just funny to think about, because I refer to them as a Real Hardware streamer. And this is like one of the only nights where I'm not actually on original hardware. How could I? Look, I'm also a dirty little liar. This track fucking sucks, by the way. Well, it's real hardware, but it's not like original hardware. Alright, losing 2 shells immediately. Oh yeah, what I mean is this is a GBA game, but I'm not playing it on an actual GBA. Because they were playing Minish Cap on a GameCube with the Game Boy player. So the reason why this track sucks, I'm going to show why and then rewind. It's because of this. It's terrible. And that's why this cup is a nightmare to do on 150cc. I outright said I was going to rewind because I intentionally hit the edge to show why this track sucks. But yes, it's cheating. I'm really trying to break the habit of rewinding so much. Because you don't necessarily get better at the game if you just rewind all the time. Because you don't actually get to lose, so you don't get to fail and learn. It's not as satisfying. I only use rewinds in games where, you don't really get checkpoints. Am I playing Dark Souls? I might play Dark Souls at some point, but probably not on stream. Tunic actually made me somewhat interested in playing the Soulsborne games. I don't know if I'll stream them. But I might play them. I will be streaming other Souls-likes, like Death's Door and Hollow Knight. But I might not actually stream Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and I'm definitely not streaming Elden Ring. You hope Wario bugs out. He's actually been fairly, simple, or not simple. It's been fairly, tame this time. Whoops. God! Peach. Peach, get back here. I just want to talk. Fuck you, Wario. Game literally said, you know what, you had it good long enough. What's that line from Fairly Odd Parents? Well, I'm off to destroy Canada, they've had it good for too long. Speaking of Fairly Odd Parents, that is a show. That and Danny Phantom are fantastic shows that are unfortunately made by Butch Hartman. I don't really want to get into the discussion about Butch Hartman, but he is a god-awful human being. Bitch Fartman. Yeah. Like, I really don't want to go into the Butch Hartman discussion. I believe, yes, I'm sorry, babe. I misspoke. They're actually named by Hatsune Miku. Everyone loves Hatsune Miku. Don't remember who, but I think whoever has Toad as their rival is the best bet for 150 due to his AI being bugged. No, Bell. See, everyone loves Hatsune Miku. Even if you don't love Hatsune Miku, you actually do. You're just in denial. Because everyone loves her. No, see, you're in denial. It is impossible to not love Hatsune Miku. No, Bao, you need to understand, you are in denial. You don't think you are, but you are. That's it, I'm getting denial. Yeah, I could totally stream a Hatsune Miku game at some point. I own the one on Switch. I don't know if I should stream it, though, because the music might be an issue. You cannot stop Miku. Yeah, Miku's a goddess. It could be fun. The closest I come to being a weeb is being a Vocaloid fan. I'm not, like, super into Vocaloid, but I like the games, I like Miku, and I like the songs I've heard. And I follow the social pages for Miku. What is a god to a non-believer? Well, okay, Simki, the problem with that is you can still get DMCAs for Rock Band, Guitar Hero, Clone Hero, Frets on Fire, and Beat Saber and all those games. The question is whether I can get in trouble for Vocaloid songs, since Vocaloid has a very interesting copyright around it. And Sega owns the rights to the games anyway, so they're the only one who can make Hatsune Miku games. Hatsune Miku might as well be a Sega character for that reason. She was supposed to be in Sonic Racing Transformed. The most disappointing thing about Sonic Racing Transformed is that we only got one of the promised DLCs. Because they ran a poll to determine who the 3 DLC characters would be, and note that does not count Metal Sonic or Yogscast, because those were special things. But the 3 winners of the poll, if I remember correctly, were Ryo Hazuki, who did end up coming out, Hatsune Miku, and I think Axel and Blaze from Streets of Rage. We could have gotten Hatsune Miku in a racing game, and we didn't because Ryo Hazuki's DLC was delayed, finally came out, and then Sumo Digital announced that they were no longer working on the game. No, this is after Yogscast and the PC exclusive characters came out in the Steam version, did not release on the console versions. Also, you may recognize that castle in the background. That's actually the castle from Paper Mario, the original. One of the only times something from Paper Mario ends up in another Mario game. Another notable example of that happening is the Star Spirits ending up in Mario Party 5, which is one of the reasons why it's my favorite Mario Party. I need to see about getting a something set up for us to do Mario Party 5 on Saturday streams. Because Mario Party 5 is my favorite Mario Party. I will not hear anyone say it's not the best Mario Party, because it is in fact the best Mario Party. You don't get a choice in that. And I would love to be able to play it online. Yeah, the catch is I would have to get something set up on my Steam Deck. I mean, my totally legit GameCube that can play games online. I have a screenshot somewhere. I can't find it right now because I have genuinely no idea. Oh, fuck, well, whatever. Genuinely have no idea where it is right now. But I have a screenshot of when Dennis was visiting. I don't know if it was for a convention or what, but usually every time Dennis visits, we do a random Mario Party. It was me, Zeno, and Dennis. And in Mario Party 5, because that's the one we always play, there's a thing that can happen when someone lands on a Bowser space where he'll equalize everyone's coins as best he can, try to make everyone even. I think that's where the gimme equality meme comes from. We all, the 3 of us and an AI, had the perfect amount of coins for gimme equality to give everyone 69 coins exactly. And I distinctly remember me, Zeno, and Dennis saw what happened. We all looked at our own coins, saw the 69, and we all collectively were about to say something until we looked at everyone else's coins and saw that all 4 of us had 69 coins. And then we lost our shit and all took our phones out because we knew that if we never, if we didn't have any proof of it, nobody would believe us. Okay, Cynthia, that's good enough. I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick. Give me a sec here. Okay, found it! I'm gonna just save this as a new image so it's easier to find. Give me a sec here. No, not there. That's my school folder. I don't want that. Alright. a sec. Alright. So, again, did this so that way I would actually have proof. It's gonna be a massive ass image. Actually, no, you can see just fine. Let me shrink that a little bit. 69, 69, 69, 69. That is by far the funniest thing to ever happen to me in any video game on this godforsaken planet. And I'm so glad that we all took pictures. I think Zeno and Dennis also have their own pictures. Anyways, nice. $69 is hilarious, Val. What are you talking about? Alright, have a good night, Simke. Oh, my chair is making noises. The time I finally replaced this chair. Alright. I'm gonna move on over to the Game Boy app. Just give me a sec. Game Boy app. Well, you know, they say you are Mr. Gay. So the Game Boy app has a few extra games on it. We got Gargoyle's Quest, which I am not streaming because that game is a fucking nightmare to play. Kirby's Dream Land, which I've already streamed, and I may come back to it at a later point. Metroid 2, which I might stream? I don't know. Super Mario Land 2, which I will probably stream at some point to actually finish the game. I am not gay. I have relationships with women. Sex with men. Sorry. Well, I got news for you, buddy. That means you're gay. Law and Order SVU certainly was a show. It was the television show of all time. Anyways, we got Super Mario Land 2, which I might stream. I did never finish it on cartridge. I think I would rather do it on Switch, to be honest, because that last level is a fucking nightmare. It's Tetris, which I'm not streaming, and I'm also not doing tonight because it's the original Tetris, and that's not very interesting, as much as I like it. Alone in the Dark, I'm probably doing for a retro night at some point, because it's a Game Boy Color horror game, and I really like that. Game & Watch Gallery 3, I would love to stream, but it's going to be ungodly boring to watch. Am I going to watch the Tetris movie? I don't know. I know the trailer dropped. I haven't watched it yet. Link's Awakening, I will stream, and Wario Land 3, I also will. So, what I'm going to show right now is a little bit of Alone in the Dark, and then a little bit of Metroid 2. And then if you guys want to see Game & Watch Gallery, I can show a little bit of it. But I promise you, it's not going to be very interesting to watch. So the sound in this is very interesting. This is owned by THQ, by the way. No. Game & Watch Gallery. Game & Watch. So Alone in the Dark is a classic horror series. This is the new Nightmare, which I've never played before. I'm gonna... I guess I'll do slot 1. Yeah, overwrite. I didn't get very far. Ring! 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 Banana phone. Hello, Edward Carnby speaking. Chunky. Mr. Carnby? My name's Aline. Aline Kadrak. Cedric? Oh, Cedric. I'm an archaeologist. It's about your partner. Charles Fisk. Is Charles working on a case for you, Miss Cedric? I keep saying your name wrong. Yes, he was. Charles is dead, Mr. Carnby. Murdered. He's what? How? He went to a place called Shadow Island to recover a stolen statuette, but never made it back. Tell me how to get to Shadow Island. I'll find out who killed him. I have a seaplane that can get you to the island in just a few hours. Have you ever heard of the Canny's Islands? I can't read that. Or Canny's Indians. No, I don't think so. I've spent my career uncovering the dark secrets of this lost tribe. They practiced mystic rituals involving the stolen statuette, believing it had great power. I believe they were correct, and so does one other person. Who would that be? Morton. Alan Morton. The multimillionaire recluse. The man who had Charles Fisk murdered. You're sure this man Morton is responsible? I'm positive. I'll recover the statuette and pray Morton tries to stop me. It'll save me the trouble of having to hunt him down. If I'm right about the statuette, we're in grave danger while we're here. You better stay with the plane then. We may need to get out of here in a hurry. I'll work on translating these Abkhani's tablets that were found with the statuette. If I find out anything useful, I'll contact you via walkie-talkie. Carnby, are you receiving me? I wanted to make sure the walkie-talkie is working. When you see the walkie-talkie icon flashing on screen, go to the inventory, select the walkie-talkie, and use it to talk to me. Okay, I'll remember that. Call me if you learn anything from the Abkhani's tablets. Abkhani's. So does one other person. Something on the ground. I'll provide a clue to what happened here. Walk to the object and press the B button to pick it up. It's an orange flask. Spooky eyes! Oh my god. This is a horror game. On Game Boy Color. Clip of bullets lying on the ground. Someone must have been in a hurry to reload and drop them. Carnby, are you receiving me? Just barely. The bad weather is interfering with the reception. Where are you? About a mile from the jetty, but I haven't found anything of interest yet. Have you learned anything from the translation of the tablets? Not much that makes sense. Mostly ramblings about evil powers and monsters. I know that the statue was used for ancient mystic rites, so I guess the authors of these tablets are trying to scare off any potential thieves. Who knows? Maybe there are monsters here. And that explains why I haven't seen anyone since I arrived. I hardly think that we'll find monsters here. It's more likely that... This darn storm is making communications tricky. I am tired of this whirl. Any whirl. Hey, what the hell was that? Looks like trouble. Better be ready for anything. Oh, I wanted the item. So this is Alone in the Dark, the New Nightmare. I'll go for a little bit longer. I didn't actually get to see much of this when I originally tried it out. Arriving at Alan Morton's mansion, there doesn't seem to be any sign of life. The doorway will probably be the best way into Morton's mansion. You can examine many background features by walking up to them and pressing the B button. Dang, dang, dang. The doors to the mansion are locked. The lock is strong. The wood of the doors appears to be rotten and weak. It's a rusty iron key, which looks as if it has been here for quite some time. To use an item, such as a key, Select it in the inventory, then stand next to a door and press the A button. This is actually really cool. That's not where I wanted to go. The key does not fit the lock. I'll have to find some other way to open the door. Okay. Get the walkie-talkie back. Oops. There doesn't appear to be anyone inside. Excuse me. Someone walked by the window when you said that, buddy. Okay. Well, that's all I'm going to show for right now. But that's Alone in the Dark, the New Nightmare. It's very interesting, very different. Now I'll show a little bit of Metroid 2. So I've already started a little bit. The funny thing about Metroid 2 is it's a Metroid game that I don't think a whole lot of people have played. But it's actually where a lot of standard features... Oh, that was a strong yawn. What the fuck? It's actually where many features from the series came from. You got Ninja Ball. This is where we got Spring Ball. For one thing. You got ninja on my end, Ball. This is where we got the Spider Ball. I don't remember what else. Fuck you, I hate you. Does Spider have pus? Does Spider have pus? No! So we go back. Ow. Ooh, ow. Oof. Ouch. Oof. Ouch, my bones. Remember, guys, you always have a skeleton inside you. He? Who's he? Goo Man. Let's see. In fact, in the original Metroid, in the Japanese version, you can actually save. But you can only save at the elevators. Oh, that's another yawn. How's all the yawns, man? Oh, that's another milestone already. The question is, how long will it take me to get to 1,000? He hates it. I do not hate for it to just tires. This is the Game Boy. version of this game. There's a 3DS version. Oh, I'm back on my ship. Oh, well, that's not really what I wanted. Oh, it's actually help. I can just... Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't know I could actually go on the ship. Alright, I can't save, though. Alright. So I just wanted to show a little bit. I'm going to use that game as an example for something. You actually have a few different options here. You can reproduce the classic feel, which is just scan lines, and you can even display it with a small screen. You can also use the original brick color scheme. The brick being the original Game Boy. Unfortunately, this color palette tends to retain the original refresh rate sometimes. I just want to say that I hate how this looks. I personally like it different. The problem with the Game Boy Color color scheme, though, is... Oh, actually... Doesn't look too bad. The problem with the Game Boy Color palette is that it doesn't always work, and you don't get to actually choose the palette. You're just stuck with whatever it gives you. And it usually defaults to the blue and orange palette, or blue and red palette. Which looks fine sometimes, but it doesn't look good for every game. So, just an example to show that off. I prefer the pocket look. Alright, so we got an hour left of stream. Unless you guys want me to go back to Mario Kart or whatever, I'm going to have... If I want to fill out time, I'm going to have to just hop between the games here, because I'm only really showing off the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. Do you guys want to see some of Game & Watch Gallery? Because I didn't want to stream it. Play Pokemons? I don't have Pokemon with me at the moment. No Game & Watch Gallery? Yeah, I kind of figured. It's not the most interesting thing to watch, honestly. Well, I could do a run of Kirby, if you guys want to see another run of Kirby. That'll fill out like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour. You hate Kirby? How could you hate Kirby? You sat through my whole Kirby marathon. You can't hate Kirby, because you watched all of it, easily. How? How could you hate him? Well, I'm going to play Kirby. I will make you learn to love him. I'm consumed by hatred. Well, he will consume your hatred. It's Kirby. The original Kirby. Yeah, I have high hopes for the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance apps. I actually didn't think we'd really get them. I know there was the leak, but I thought it was just for testing. Going to fucking hammer that little bastard. Gonna hammer him. You wanna see Yoshi Topsy-Turvy? I'm sorry, hon, I don't know what game you're talking about. Do you mean Yoshi's Universal Gravitation? That's Bop. I didn't exactly look at it. Also, yes, there is a Yoshi platformer on GBA that uses the same kind of gyroscope that WarioWare Twisted uses. The cartridge is a different shape, though. It's called Yoshi Topsy-Turvy in the US. For some reason, in Europe, it's got the god-awful name of Yoshi's Universal Gravitation. I think they were trying to stick closer to the Japanese name, which is, like, fine and all that. But that's a fucking terrible name for a game. It's more of well, okay, you're not wrong. You're wrong, but you're also not wrong. But you're wrong. But it's more of a Nintendo of Europe tended to stick closer to the Japanese script. In fact, that was actually true across the board for a lot of European localizers, as they tended to stay close to the Japanese script for most of the games that they localized. That was the situations like that where you end up with a stupid name because it's an accurate translation of the Japanese name. And Japan loves goofy names. And some games, when translated to English, have awkward names. Like, the Klonoa series is called Kaze no Klonoa in Japan, which means Klonoa of the Wind. That means Klonoa 1 and Klonoa 2, their full titles in Japan are Klonoa of the Wind, Door to Phantomile, and Klonoa of the Wind, Klonoa of the Wind 2, Lunatea's Veil. Which are kind of awkward to say in English. And keep in mind, I'm speaking as a Klonoa fan. Yeah, that sounds about right. Klonoa 1 is exceedingly rare. I have a copy of Klonoa 1 for PS1, but it's a Japanese copy because it only cost me like $30. If I bought it in English, it would have been like $300 at the time. Yeah, it's la 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 and la la la. Oh, there goes la la la. Well, I'm getting invited to the funeral. Good. I don't know why I thought this would take an hour. It's already halfway through the game. Well, we're about to be, at least. Yeah, since this is just a showcase and I don't really have much to show at the moment. Actually, I like Lolo and Lala. I'm sure they're fine. I think they came back in Superstar as bosses. Also, can we get the other Adventures of Lolo games on Switch? Because there's only the one in the US NES app, and for some reason the second one is in the Japanese app, but not the first. Zombies. The one up. So chat, what's your favorite Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and/or Game Boy Advance game? You can answer all three if you want, or just one of them. My favorite Game Boy game, honestly, is just Tetris. That's another yawn. My favorite Game Boy Color game is Link's Awakening. Oh, Link's Awakening DX. And my favorite GBA game is Actually, yeah, same as Sora's, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. Well, Baal now is a good opportunity with NSO apps. There are a few worth playing. I wouldn't say there's a lot, but there are a few. There's probably more than I know, though. My knowledge of good Game Boy games is actually more limited than you would expect. This is not an area of gaming that I collect a lot of games for, so I don't actually know what all is there to play. No, cat face. Ooh, no, I'm not going to play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. Ooh. There's not enough shoot game. There's nothing to shoot. There actually is a first-person shooter on the Game Boy, by the way. It fucking sucks, but it actually predates Doom. It either predates Doom or Wolfenstein, I forget which. It's called Faceball 2000. There's a Game Gear game. Or a Game Gear version of it, too. I've played it. It runs like ass. Ow. Oh, owie. My bones, I'm gonna die. I died. It's Kerbo. The Curb. The Curbster. The Poyo Boyo. It's him. Uh-oh, it's Kracko. Yo, 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 what it is, motherfuckers. Ow. What if Kirby had hyper-realistic blood? And his hyper-realistic eyes? Is Kirby a creepypasta? Oh, he's just a little blood boy. Give me the one up. Give me the one up. You know, the hyper-realistic blood thing reminds me of when creepypastas were all the rage, and there was a big thing about creepypastas having hyper-realistic blood and hyper-realistic eyes, and that's how you knew it was bad. Or if it was called Jeff the Killer. To this day, I do not understand how Jeff the Killer was so popular, because it's such a terribly written story. It's not even scary. I think the image that often accompanied it was scarier than the story itself. Because I mean, the story is laughably bad. Maybe one day I'll do a creepypasta reading stream. Oh, that would actually be a good stream, now that I think about it. Let's read creepypastas. Buzz. Fuck you, you old tree. Whoa. Yeah? What you gonna do about it? Huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mother! I'm calling the Lorax. Can't believe I killed Lala first both times. I wasn't trying to. I need to stress that. She just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Gamer misogyny. What about gamer misandry? It's always gamer misogyny, but it's never gamer misandry. I'm saying this as if I want that to happen, but that's not good either. Those dudes are based. Based? Based on what? Stop smacking me with that. Cox. Okay. Hey, I can't argue with that. Alright. Verb. Day day. Day day. Day day. Day 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 day. Day 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 day. Day 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 day. Day 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 day. I hit left. I thought that doesn't do extra damage. All right. All right, we got about 40 minutes left. I could end early, if you guys don't mind me ending early. Because I don't know what I can do for the next 40 minutes. I'm running out of games. Well, I could do the other 5 cups in Super Circuit and try to fill out some time. Because the other things I could stream is stuff that I actually want to stream. Or just wouldn't be good for stream, like Tetris. So, what do you guys think? Super Circuit? Just end here? Because I don't have much else to show. I don't mind going back to Super Circuit. I'm just like asking, like, if you guys are fine. I'm doing this mostly for you guys. If you guys are fine with me ending here, I'll end here. If you want me to try to fill out a little more time, I can do Super Circuit. You vote end early? Val, what do you say? Super Circuit, end early? I'll just let the credits play while we're doing this. It wasn't listening. You wasn't listening. Good job, Spike. Alright, well, it's 1 vote for end early, and 1 vote for I wasn't listening, which I'm going to count as a vote for both. Xeno's probably not paying attention. And he'd be outvoted anyways, and I don't think anyone else is talking. So... let me just reset that so I can get some background noise on my end. I guess I'm just going to end here. So, it's a bit of a short stream, but I just wanted to showcase some of the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, because, you know, the apps just came out. Not everyone's probably going to be playing them. I will be streaming some of these at a later point. For now, let us find someone to raid it. I was correct, you weren't paying attention. Well, it's too bad because you're outvoted anyways, Xeno. Unless someone else is going to chime in. You wasn't paying attention? You wasn't. Is that what it is? You wasn't? Let me see Who do we raid? You know what? Let's raid someone who isn't necessarily a furry YouTuber. To expand my horizons a little bit. I know we're gonna raid. Is that muted? Yes. Alright. We're gonna raid, Good Bean. I'll reveal the name in a moment. So, I have already posted my schedule. If I remember correctly, I'm doing Castlevania Legacy of Darkness on Monday, which is tomorrow. Wednesday will be Killer 7. Friday will be Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which is finally coming out then. Hopefully it arrives on time. Saturday, if Xeno is up for it, we'll be doing Mario Kart Super Circuit. If not, we'll be going back to Left 4 Dead 2. Excuse me. And Sunday is Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo. We are going to raid Terra Raizu, or Raizu, who is a Dino VTuber. So, we're gonna go with Poyo Raid. See if I can fucking copy the message correctly. There you go. I like that emote, Xeno. So yeah, copy that message. You know the drill. If you have your own emotes or someone else's emotes you want to use instead, use theirs or yours. If you're sub to me, you can use my emotes. I don't really care that much. You know the drill. No, we're not calling it the drill, though. We're not calling it the drill, though. We're not calling it the drill, Aussie. It's just the drill. Let me get that queued up. Let me spell raid correctly. I think I spelled that right. Yes. Okay, good. So, one of these days, I would like to find someone named Shadow Legends so I can raid Shadow Legends. That sounds a lot dumber now that I've said it out loud. Alright, anyways, I will see you all tomorrow. You all have a good evening. Let's show Tara some love. Love, that's the word. I can English.